Finding a sudden bald spot or noticing your hair rapidly thinning can be deeply unsettling. You might start changing how you style your hair or worrying about how close you let people stand. We are frequently told there are only two paths forward: resign yourself to the loss or resort to harsh synthetic chemicals that carry a long list of side effects. But in the majority of non-scarring cases, the hair follicle is actually still alive. It has simply detached from its root and entered a prolonged, dormant resting phase. For thousands of years, traditional botanical medicine has recognized this dormancy. Ancient practitioners developed targeted, plant-based mechanisms to gently wake these follicles back up. Natural hair restoration does not fight the body. Instead, it dismantles the biological barriers that actively prevent your body's normal regenerative cycle from resuming. Building a brand new hair shaft requires immense amounts of biological resources. To do this, the scalp needs a constant, heavy supply of oxygen and blood flow right at the root level. When the scalp's microcapillary network becomes constricted, it starves the follicle, forcing hair into a dormant state. Topical stimulants, particularly rosemary essential oil, act as natural vasodilators. They actively widen these vessels, sending a rush of oxygen and nutrients straight to the root. Once that growth resumes, the follicle needs building materials. Concentrated dietary sulfur, like the kind extracted from onion juice, reinforces the keratin bonds, giving the new hair shaft its structural integrity. Opening the scalp's circulatory pathways is the non-negotiable first step. Without this biological supply line, no other restorative nutrients can reach their target. Even with perfect circulation, follicles face a significant hormonal threat. The overproduction of dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, physically shrinks and miniaturizes hair follicles until they can no longer produce terminal hairs. This happens when an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase converts regular testosterone into the highly damaging DHT molecule right at the scalp level. Holistic herbalists have long utilized specific plant compounds that possess a unique biological capability. They can naturally block that exact enzyme from forming in the first place. Botanicals like saw palmetto and pumpkin seed oil serve as the primary defenders. They are rich in fatty acids and phytosterols that shield the follicle from this specific hormonal attack. Neutralizing DHT does not force a natural growth. It simply removes the biological brake pedal that was actively forcing the follicle to shrink and die. Hair cannot regenerate in a hostile surface environment. If the scalp is inflamed, depleted of nutrients, or highly stressed, the follicles will remain locked in their resting phase. This is where botanicals like aloe vera and fenugreek are deployed. They cool surface inflammation, reduce dandruff, and restore the scalp's natural pH balance. With the environment cleared, the follicle needs one final push. It requires specific cellular signals to initiate the complex process of re-entering the active growth phase. Traditional Chinese medicine relies on heavyweights like heishu wu and ginseng to trigger these signals. For centuries, these powerful adaptogens have been used to restore deep internal energy and actively awaken dormant stem cells. When you remove inflammation and provide these cellular signals, the follicle is clear to resume its natural cycle. Dormancy ends because the biological barriers have been systematically removed. Because your hair grows in slow biological cycles, waking up these follicles takes time. Natural restoration requires patience and consistency, often taking 3 to 6 months to show visible changes, not overnight miracles. And topicals are only half the equation. These botanical treatments must be supported by an internal foundation of adequate protein, deep sleep, and deliberate stress reduction. You can start building this protocol today. Replace harsh chemical detergents with sulfate-free cleansers. Massage targeted botanical oils into your scalp daily, and apply natural herbal masks weekly. You are not powerless against a receding hairline or a widening part. Taking control of the scalp environment naturally restores your personal agency over your own health. Restoring a bald spot through these traditional methods is a byproduct of a larger shift. By aligning your scalp care with your internal health, you restore the specific biological conditions your follicles need to thrive.